Welcome to the Movers and Shakers podcast, where real students are doing real deals in the world of multifamily real estate. I'm Vince Gethings, the owner of the Wheelwell Profits Academy. Listen in as we dive into the journeys of driven individuals who are turning their dreams into reality. These people are just like you, taking action and making things happen. If you enjoy the show, please like, subscribe, and if you're ready to take action, check us out at wheelwellprofits.com to learn more about our incredible community. Let's get started.
This is Movers and Shakers, where we interview the upcoming generation of make it happen multifamily investors to share their story.
Welcome to the Movers and Shakers podcast. My name is Gino Barbaro, co-founder of Jake and Gino, multifamily investor, educator, father, mentor, and I'm joined by my co-host, my brother, Josh Rusin, the community director of Jake and Gino. Hey, Josh, how you doing today, bro?
Gino, doing well, man. Super excited. Had a great weekend last weekend in Florida with you and the family, really making it happen. A lot of big things in the works between the coach training program, the accountability pod. Gino, how are you today?
Well, it's funny. I've been wishing for a seventh child, and I had one for the weekend, right? So it was good. We did a little fishing together. I cooked a little extra. The food bill went up a little bit, but, it was well worth it. You know what I'm saying? And, on Mother's Day, I worked a little bit too. Didn't get that much grief from my wife. It was an awesome weekend. I'm excited about today's guest, Josh. Let's jump in.
Yeah, so today we have Eli Sunderland. Now, Eli is the founder of the Sunderland Group. He actually grew up in a suburb of Minneapolis and graduated in 2016 with a degree in mathematics and economics from Bethel University. After graduation, Eli worked as an actuarial analyst at a large insurance company in Minneapolis. At the age of 24, he stepped aside from a career as an actuary to create a multifamily investment firm. With his technical background, Eli specializes in deal analysis and asset management. Since getting started, he's closed on a 62-unit apartment complex in Johnson City, a 41-unit deal in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and is currently closing on another 107 units in Louisville, Kentucky in June. This will result in 210 units and over $10 million in assets under management in less than 12 months. Wow. Welcome to the show, Eli.
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here.
So, Eli, here's what I want to know. I mean, an actuary, that's a career where there's a lot of work, in schooling, and you have all those tests. How and where did real estate pop on your radar and on the map?
Probably have to say it started with, similar way a lot of other people started. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, kind of changed my mindset a little bit. Ended up buying a duplex. Bought a duplex about a year after I graduated. Did the house hacking thing, lived in one unit, rented out the other. The game plan is to get one of those going, maybe every year, buy one, move into the next one, the next year, and so on. From there, I guess decided I wanted to scale up and make it happen a little bit quicker. So I started going for bigger deals, and 62 unit came across my plate and got it closed.
You make it sound so simple. I mean, Eli, so the duplex, you did that, rehabbed it, made some money. I mean, scaling up, where did this idea come from? Why scale up? What convinced you to make the leap?
Sure. I can't point to any one particular thing, I don't think. Basically it just came down to I wanted to take control of my time. I wanted to have flexibility of time, be able to design work around my lifestyle rather than lifestyle around my work. Like right now, I'm recording a podcast on a Wednesday in my backyard. Definitely couldn't be doing that if I was an actuary. So scaled up mostly just to make that happen sooner, honestly.
So, Eli, how old are you?
25.
Okay, so the first dispelling myth that I want everyone to listen to is age has nothing to do with it. I think it has clarity. Eli is clear in what he wanted. He had purpose, and he had a big enough why. The next thing is, how did you close the deal? What helped you close that deal?
The first deal, basically where I got the deal, knew how to, had a business plan set up. Had a couple people here local in the Twin Cities that I was going to partner with on it. So I had a little bit of capital, from my duplex and then from them. But then actually I connected with you guys, and you connected me with a few people in the community, and we got it done.
So run through the deal. What was exciting about the deal? Why did you choose this deal? And, how did you find the deal?
So this one was on LoopNet. It was listed at $20,000 a door, which and is down in Johnson City, Tennessee. So that's a really low price. I figured this thing must be in the hood. This thing must be falling down. This thing must be vacant. But I called up the broker anyway. Got some more details on it. Found out it was actually about 90% occupied and in the best school district in the county. And so pretty much right then and there, I said, I'm very interested in this deal. But then, of course, he told me it just got under contract. So I was actually the backup offer. So the original buyer ended up falling out. They were California buyers. Property needed more work than they were interested in. And so the broker reached out to me and got it under contract. So
walk us through that. I mean, how did you build rapport with the broker? What did you like about the deal? Let's talk a little bit more about the deal itself and actually getting that deal in the contract.
Yeah. So, I mean, first of all, $20,000 is a very good price. I mean, this is a very heavy lift. I mean, we bought it for 20 a door. We're putting 12 grand a door in renovations or so. I mean, right now we're actually still mid renovation. We actually had to empty the entire complex and just revamp the whole thing because the exteriors need a lot of work. The decks were essentially falling. They were concrete decks, and so it's a huge safety hazard for the existing tenants. So the city actually made us kick everybody out, get everything renovated, and that's where we're at right now. And we're going to be starting to lease in the next couple of weeks, actually, which is exciting. What I liked about the deal, I mean, going in, the rents were on average like 380 or 400, and market's more like 600. So at a high level, we could be all in for about 32 a door, 20 for purchase and 12 for reno, and average rent of $600. So, I mean, for the bigger pockets fans, that just about hits your 2% rule, and it's 62 units.
So what the great thing about it is, I would tell most listeners out there, this is not your typical first deal you want to do. A heavy lift like this, evacuating tenants, concrete falling on people's heads. But there's another dispelling belief. I don't have the money, I don't have the experience, and I'm too young. So all three of those are just out the window with this podcast. And that's why I love doing these podcasts with Jake and Gino students, because if you don't have the proper education and you don't have the proper community, I would never do this kind of deal. But if you can surround yourself with smart people, if you can surround yourself with people who have a little experience, you know what? Your odds of succeeding are a lot higher. So, what type of financing did you use to lock this deal down?
Yeah, so the game plan was bank financing. You guys connected me with a couple of contacts over at Mountain Commerce Bank. I legitimately think that I called every single bank in East Tennessee. I just Googled banks in East Tennessee and probably had a list of, 60 plus banks that I would just call in my lunch breaks and whatnot. And that caused other issues because they wouldn't answer and they'd call me back when I'm back in the office. And, so it's a lot easier now that I'm doing this full time. But so yeah, basically what it came down to was we couldn't find a bank that would finance it, considering we had no experience, and the debt coverage ratio in place just wasn't there. So we had to go bridge financing. We got 80% loan to value, and we got 100% of the renovation finance. They just didn't ask to complete appraisal of what they think it's gonna be worth when we're done, and they said that was fine, that they would give us all of our renovation dollars. So
then when you go to refi this deal, you're going to refi all the money out, redistribute everything out, and you guys are going to start from zero again, correct?
The game plan. Hopefully more than what we put into it, but we'll see. Wow,
that's awesome. So let me ask you another question. Management. Who's going to be managing the property?
Yeah, there's a local company we know, D&K Management, if you want to know the name. They manage stuff nationwide, and they've got a local branch out in Johnson City.
How did you select them?
How did I get introduced to them? I can't remember how I found them in the first place, but I'd met with them when I was looking at the property. They just were very, very professional. They're probably the B and C class apartment complex experts in Johnson City. There's one other group that does a lot of work there, but they do mostly luxury class A type stuff. So D&K is pretty much the go-to manager for assets like that in the area. So I figured it'll be easy for them to manage.
So that's what I was going to say. What was your criteria? Your criteria was they have a lot of experience. They do your type of asset. Anything else that attracted you to them? Pricing, maybe anything else?
Yeah, pricing was competitive. I mean, pretty similar to what I'd seen with other companies. I mean, I don't know. I just liked them too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I met with the person that would be managing it, you know, so.
That's awesome. So Josh, the Eli story is amazing because it's similar to Jake and mine. We bought a 25 unit deal. 3 months later, we bought a 36 unit deal. And then 6 months after that, within a year, we bought 136 units. So we had 200 units within a year of starting. And the key, everybody out there, is you got to start. It doesn't matter whether it's a duplex, a sixplex, you have to get partners, raise money. Once you start, you get that momentum because all of a sudden you've got your first deal, you have a little credibility and opportunities come. And I think Eli said it was important. He was doing it while his lunch break and then he quit his job. And as soon as you quit your job, you have those opportunities out there where you can actually focus on it full time. So, ripping off the Band-Aid and doing that full time is awesome. Well, Eli, what is your best advice for anybody trying to get into multifamily?
You kind of just stole it. But pretty much, I'd say just get out of your own way and stop overthinking things and just go out and do it. I mean, education is, of course, important. Like, you shouldn't be flying blind and just kind of haphazardly going out and doing things. But if you can, I mean, this business isn't rocket science at its core. It's find deals that you can increase the income or decrease the expenses. So, I mean, you can increase income by finding something with below market rents. You can decrease expenses, cutting utilities. I mean, the basic concept of the business isn't rocket science. So if you can just learn some of the ways to do that, just go out there. Other than that, it's just mostly networking. Network with brokers, find deals, network with investors, find capital. So people oftentimes kind of get caught up in the, they don't do a deal or they take a long time because they get bogged down in the details. You know, they're worried about getting all of their ducks in a row. They want to know exactly where all the capital is coming from, who's managing it, where the financing is coming from, yada, yada, yada. And obviously if they wait to do that, it's going to take them a lot longer. If I had done that, I probably would be at 0 units right now. Every single deal I've done so far, it's been I found the deal. I've been talking to investors a little bit, but I definitely didn't have all my ducks in a row before I found the deal. And frankly, I see a lot of people trying to build out their team in certain markets and get everything set up before they find a deal. And that's great. I think you should always working that way, but also working towards finding deals, because you may end up finding a deal in a market that you hadn't built out a team. And then all that time you spent building that team was not pointless, but wasn't the best use of your time. I've pretty much built out probably 25% of my team after finding all of my deals.
Well, Jake, Josh, I'm going to jump into this for a real quick minute because golden nuggets here. Here's another dispelling myth that I get from a lot of students who are looking for education. I'm going to wait until I have enough money saved up or when the market corrects. They've been saying that for the last 5 years. You're never going to save enough money to get into a big deal, and you don't know when the market corrects if you have no education, right? So if you're serious into getting into multifamily real estate right now, go out there. There are a lot of educators out there, a lot of people doing it. Select one of them. Select one that has a great community, a great environment, so you can start identifying as a multifamily investor. And another thing that Eli said, don't confuse motion, doing this, setting up a team, with action, actually going out, putting in LOIs, getting PSAs, calling banks and creating those networks. There's a difference between motion, which most of us like to do, and we feel like we're doing something, and action, where it's actually you're creating something and that action becomes the result that you've taken.
Guys, I just want to sum up something like Gino said, the keys to success here. And really, you need to pay attention to these because in a year, Eli went from 0 to 210 units. And put it simply, get educated, surround yourself with a great network, and then take massive action. Like Eli said, all the lights in town are never going to turn green. If you wait for that, you're never going to get started. You have to get started to get results. And then look, 0 to 210 units in less than a year, 25 years old, quit his job, and he had a high paying job. So Eli, I got to hand it to you. How can the listeners get a hold of you? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, We got a website in the works. So that'll be set up soon. But I guess for now, reach out to me on social media. You can add me on Facebook, send me a message. I connect with people all the time on Facebook. Meet up for coffee. You can also shoot me an email at eli.sunderland@gmail.com.
So Josh, there's another dispelling belief. You need a website, you need business cards, you need to look professional. No, you need to go out there, network with brokers, raise capital, create some relationships, look at 80 deals, start putting LOIs in. Out of those 80 deals, you're going to underwrite, you're going to get one, and then let's worry about the website after. The website's not important now. Actually doing deals, looking at deals, and having fun and taking action is what's important, and that's what's going to get you to 200 units in a year. Very simple, Josh.
Don't overcomplicate it. I love it. Well, Eli, I want to thank you for being an amazing guest on the show and sharing your mover and shaker story. Guys, if you want to be the next Movers and Shakers guest, email me, josh@jakeandgino.com. If you like the show, please leave us a review. And until next time, let's make it a Movers and Shakers week. See ya.
Bye, everybody. Eli, thanks for being a kick-ass guest. Have a great day, everyone.